think about royal romances, it's often been said that some work, some don't. Let's not forget in that recent legal case earlier this year, Prince Harry did talk about his ex, Chelsea Davy, an awful lot, mentioned it quite a few times in his autobiography too, proving that she made a real impact on his life, and more importantly, was very difficult to get out of his mind, even though he'd now moved on, married an actress, and obviously got two children. It's very tricky, isn't it? And that's the problem. Now, could we be looking at a new reignited royal romance? As ever, let me explain. Hi, good morning. Neil Sean here. Nice to have your company. And as ever, thank you so much for joining me today. Nice to see you. Yes, hope you're keeping well. Are you? You're not bad. Yeah, I know. It's going a bit grey now, isn't it? No, not me. The weather. Ooh, you can be so unkind first thing. I know, trying to keep it together here, you know what it's like. But what's interesting is I often think with royal romances, when you look through, really when you go back as well, I mean, goodness, you look at King Henry VIII, gosh, how brutal was he? He didn't fit in with the remit, that's the problem. But one royal romance that really did tickle a lot of people in the 1980s was none other than Sarah Ferguson and the Duke of York, Prince Andrew. According to a very well-placed source, both of them would very much like to get back together. No two ways about it, I can tell you that 100%. When you also look at the bigger picture, it was often said that it was His Royal Highness the Duke of Edinburgh, Prince Philip, that wasn't too keen on that. But now, of course, the Duke of York is free, and he and Fergie, who have gone through some rather difficult times of late, including a terrible recent health scare, have become closer and firmer together. Now, according to a couple of well-placed sources who know Beatrice and Eugenie very well, they would both love to see their parents rekindling their romance. Now, some might say this is a cynical move. I've seen them together. They're very much still together, obviously live together at Royal Lodge, all of that sort of stuff. And she's been a rock to him, and he's certainly been a rock to her in the last few months. It's been very trying for Sarah Ferguson. I know, people might say you're going for the sympathy vote, but I wouldn't wish what she went through on anyone. It's difficult, Now, what's happening here really is it's how the public would perceive it, you see, because Sarah herself has developed herself into a very astute businesswoman, particularly with books, and the fact that some of these books now can be turned into TV movies. But of course, a couple is a couple. And according to that very well-placed source, Sarah believes that if Prince Andrew was to make the move and offer remarriage, she would say yes in a heartbeat. Now, how would that play out with the other senior members of the British monarchy? Could be very tricky. If you remember, of course, it took the Queen a long time to welcome in Queen Camilla into the bosom of the British monarchy. This time around, though, with these season 2 senior royals, I think the path could be positively smoother. And whatever you think about Andrew and Sarah, there's one thing for sure. They certainly do love each other. And really, that should be applauded. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.